Hey, what's up, guys? Surf here. So normally I use this meme format as a joke about the person I'm talking about, like, oh, things are so bad for them. Well, guess what? I'm the joke today. That's right. Things are really bad for me because I have to look at the absurdity of the VTubing scene and the absolutely diabolical stuff we're going to cover today. Now, there's many things I've seen today that are not the main focus of this channel, but I'm just giving you a heat check on how the VTubing scene is doing today. So, Chibidoki said Happy Men's Day because apparently this is International Men's Day to celebrate men and to be kind towards them. And she said, I'm buying my dad flowers today. This series of tweets would get her backlash. Yes, she got backlash for saying Happy Men's Day and that she's going to buy her dad some flowers. Now, this is a bit of a morbid thing, but go buy your father, your friend, whoever, some flowers. Because often with men, the only time they get flowers is at their funeral. I know, morbid, sad, but just keep that in mind. And then I saw this with Twitch. It's VTuber week. Did you know? It's VTuber week, guys. Gear up. It's very ironic that Twitch is trying to pretend like they actually care about VTubers, and they got noted. Oh, what a beautiful note we saw right here. Twitch has sustained a culture of discrimination against VTubers, which disproportionately strict rules on attire, arbitrary bans without explanation, and recently throwing away gifts left for VTubers by fans at TwitchCon 2025. And just when you thought things couldn't get worse, we got the main story for today. Here is a too long didn't read version of events. Female VTubers caught doing bad things for clout. They double down, and they use their mental illness as a shield. They get criticized for that. And then they say, uh-oh, I'm in the hospital, and then post a picture of themselves, even though they say they have no phone access. Yup, that's the real story today, involving this VTuber named Cha Cha Chilla, who posted this now infamous image right here, where they're quote-unquote in the hospital with no phone access. And as we'll see, this is a fake photo. This is not them in the hospital. I can say that with 99% certainty. This is not them. And they're literally posting fake photos of themselves, supposedly in the hospital, to garner sympathy and clout on the internet. So, how did this all start? Well, it starts with this now deleted post. Now, it's not a full post here. Luckily, on the mobile version of Twitter, you can actually very quickly take a screenshot of a deleted post. You have a half-second window to take it. So this is what I got, and this is what started everything. So she says this: I tried to talk to Flork, and we'll talk about him in just a second, about one of his talents having a habit of calling people inferior and how that can seem to disabled people. However, he blocked me and said not to bring up my personal issues with his talents. I believe calling someone inferior is demeaning as it's historically used context. And you can see they got noted, right? This was in Minecraft. I know there's that joke oh, in Minecraft. Oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z in Minecraft for legal reasons, right? No, this literally happened in Minecraft. So people are being called inferior in Minecraft. Okay, understand this. So who's Flork? Well, Flork is someone who's very respected in the VTubing scene. He's also the creator of the agency Socks, okay? It's a VTuber agency. And he would respond to what was just stated, saying this: yes, I did snap at you in DMs because you were told not to contact me anymore prior to this. Lucia's team investigated the first piece of evidence you showed them regarding ad-free, and it was not even them speaking, video included. Their team there gave you the statement on what was happening. It was a roleplay in a Minecraft faction roleplay. And I will wholeheartedly back my talent that they did nothing wrong, especially in a 4-second out-of-context clip you originally showed. Because that was the original post. When you go back to this right here, it was a 4-second clip of one of the talents from this agency calling someone inferior. In fact, the VTuber they're calling out wasn't even the one who said it. Okay, so this is happening in a Minecraft role-playing scenario. And this person is trying to cancel a random VTuber, actually, and their entire agency over someone being called inferior in Minecraft.
Treating guys.
They're wild.
Guys, they're like,
gotta give them a
yeah,
pass.
what's happening with that?
Brains are a little smaller.
Dude, that's gonna oh my god,
I was never a wilder. Thank you very much.
yeah, it's true. I never.
So Cha-Cha comes back with the big receipts that prove literally nothing they're trying to say here, but Cha-Cha says, actually, that's not what you said. So Flork says, hi, Cha-Cha, I will admit I'm a little uncomfortable with your messages right now. I've been extremely busy because of corpo work and my other work, though earlier in the year, I had more time, so I was able to message a bit more freely. I have not had that free time lately. Me not constantly DMing you is not a personal thing. However, because of this, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable to keep up communication. What's the message here, guys? He's saying, I don't want to talk to you anymore. In a very polite way. And as Flork would point out, that's pretty clearly, don't message me anymore. And Cha-Cha says, that's not what you said. You said you're not sure. Be clear, communicate like an adult. Oh my gosh. This person's giving lessons about what is mature, by the way. Especially when you're communicating with someone who's told you they're autistic in the past. They are weaponizing. They're using their disabilities as a shield for any feedback they're getting. But, of course, a lot of people weighed in, okay? Alien Mixture said to the now deleted post, honestly, if stuff like this bothers you, then maybe you shouldn't join a RP team versus team server. This was all in good fun and clearly elementary playground school banter. You in this scenario were very immature. You called ad-free out in public, you messaged Flork when you clearly were told to stop, and you were making a big deal out of what was supposed to be a fun and wonderful experience. Step back and really ask yourself if this is worth it. Here's another post saying, if you can't handle being called anything worse than stinky, I fear the internet may not be for you. It was playful banter. They were treating you like they treat others. Normal and like everyone else. Is that not what you want? And here's a post of them saying, when the other teams called us stinky, that was fine. When they called us stupid, I didn't really like it. But I didn't say acting. It was being called inferior. That's wrong. Now, Cha-Cha would start running out some defense for themselves, saying, I think it's weird that people act like they're better than you and literally call you inferior to your face and then act like you're the problem. Inferior in Minecraft. Literally. We're talking about skills in Minecraft in a role-playing event. Unbelievable. And then this. Basically saying, like, you know, maybe take a step back, and they say, Cha-Cha says, calling people inferior has such a negative historical context with Nazis, disabled people, and such that personally, I'd never use it. But if you want to and think that's okay, that's on you. They are comparing themselves. I can't even... There's so many words I want to say right now. And none... Can you believe this person? This is... Sorry, I had to cut there for a second because I didn't want to get banned on YouTube. But Cha-Cha would make a response basically saying, I'm sorry for all of this happening in this SMP. And they're frustrated. And their frustration turned into anger. And then they say... I also want to say that someone being called inferior really hit them hard because they're disabled. Oh boy, we are starting the oppression Olympics right here, okay? And one of the people involved with this collaboration will come out and add some context where they say that Cha-Cha had died the night before, which meant that they were using her items since she had no need for them. And her character that she was role-playing as was a dementia-ridden old lady. So she was running around like that and had no idea what she was talking about. And then there's this clip where the person who's so upset about the use of inferior as a joke in Minecraft also called this individual a bitch in this clip right here.
It's not.
Back, please, I'm alive.
Why?
Cause I'm alive, bitch.
Whoa.
Don't
That's
talk to me not like that.
I was joking.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I was joking. That was supposed to be funny. That was supposed to be funny.
Now you're not getting your abs back. It's mine now.
So now we get into the really spicy part. So timestamps are important here. So at 12:15 p.m., they post this eulogy saying, "I feel so empty. I've lost everything and I really have nobody to blame but myself. I will say I genuinely thought using inferior was bad, but when everyone disagrees with you, it's time to take a step back and reevaluate. I'm not perfect and I make mistakes. I will say I saw Apollo's post and I never doxed anyone, nor did Revenge Poontang. That's going too far. Please provide evidence." Okay, there's a lot of rumors going around about this Cha-Cha person and some insane behavior they're doing. We're going to see a little bit of that in just a second, but if you're facing allegations of posting revenge, why would you ask someone to post evidence? Doesn't that seem a little bit backwards? But anyways, they continue on saying, "I'm taking a step back from the internet. I feel like I just need to delve deeper into therapy about my impulsiveness and my sadness that turns into anger. I made a very impulsive mistake last night, so this is the last time I'll have access to my phone for a while. I don't know when or if I'll be back. I'm sorry I caused so much drama and sorry to those I hurt." Well, if you didn't hurt anyone, why are you apologizing for hurting people? But anyways, that was at 12:15 p.m. And then at 12:36 p.m., so about 20 minutes later, they say, "I'll be heading off to the hospital soon and won't have access to my phone." And they got noted. Okay, you see where this is going, right? Then at 12:50 p.m., roughly 20 minutes later, they say, "Since people don't believe me," with a picture of themselves supposedly in the hospital. Now, of course, this same person said 20 minutes ago they wouldn't have access to their phone, but then they posted a photo of themselves in the hospital. A very speedy set of events here. And if you notice, right here, you see this? Behind the emoji, you can see some hair. And it's pink. Very clearly pink hair. Now, looking at this person's account, here's a photo of them from October, so literally a month ago to the date. And they had short brown hair. So clearly these are not the same two people unless she got like, I don't know, like a wig or extensions or something, but that's highly unlikely. And someone pointed this out, basically saying the picture is not her. She doesn't have pink dyed hair. Her hair is natural brown / dark blonde mix. Seeing what she looked like in Zentreya, very popular YouTuber, or Vtuber, off-Kai stream, where she heavily self-promoted herself to the point that both Zen and our favorite monarch got uncomfortable. This is a fake picture. And I do believe with very heavy certainty that this is in fact a fake photo. And someone pointed out the timeline of events. I've been trying to really press this. So originally, I'll be heading to the hospital soon. 14 minutes later, gets hooked up to a heart rate and blood pressure monitor and posts a picture that might not even be hers. 8 minutes later, I've been at the hospital. I didn't want to specify, but I'm heading to the psych ward, which is another deleted tweet in this series of events. Basically, none of this is believable. And here's another reply saying, "You're an embarrassment to the disabled VTuber community. Your disability is not an excuse to lie and manipulate people on the internet. You are giving us a bad rep. Please seek some actual mental help respectfully. And here's another person, Apollo, who was involved. We saw this name mentioned earlier, who would weigh in with some interesting things. Okay, so apparently this person also goes by the name, or used to go by the name of Bunny Alisu. And Apollo says this: I was nice, respectful, and tried to be a friend. At the time, I wanted to get you help. You harassed me and my friends and so many others for years. You have doxed real-life faces and names, bullied, spread lies, and got blacklisted from Mythos, a Vtuber agency, for a good reason. I gave them a 10-plus page document. When we didn't give you what you wanted, you did revenge adult content. Every single time I had someone or something awesome happen to me, you got butthurt with my success early on. You shared it everywhere, and people saw that side of me. You took my power, and just 2 days before TwitchCon, where I wanted to see people for the first time, my first event, I had to listen to so many people saying they were on my side and that they saw it. I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want that. But you didn't stop there. You kept harassing me for months on end because I wasn't flinching in public, and you had to make videos, accounts, and spreading it all over Mythos. I didn't feel safe anymore. I was overwhelmed. I couldn't even stream properly because of you. I lost a lot of things, and it harmed me. So pretty serious stuff being weighed in here. But another post saying, oh, so this is where you've been hiding. This is the girl who crashed a dinner party a friend and I hosted back in TwitchCon Vegas. Never paid her part of the bill. Irresponsibly drank with strangers during the event, to which a good handful of the group brought her back to her hotel, only then to say, we abandoned you because one of the men felt uncomfortable spending the night with you after you mixed your meds with alcohol. Also followed my friend group for the whole day around the event out of nowhere. Got one of their real-life phone numbers somehow to harass them in sakes of clearing your name. Spread multiple rumors about the majority of my friends as well as myself. Have sent lewd photos of yourself to me with zero consent, to which you have since deleted. Have tried self-inviting yourself to gaming lobbies I hosted with friends. Have harassed and stalked multiple people I care about. You have doxed my friends and sent me private messages from some of my friends out of the context in trying to clear your name. I've had so many bridges burned because of you. I will not tolerate you trying to blame your behavior on incredible people that have done nothing but to help you. So yeah, I'm in pain. Just reading through all this stuff. Exhausting. This person is using their disability as a shield for any sort of criticism they are receiving, and there's a lot of very disturbing things being raised by people who clearly don't want to even bring these things public. Okay? They are in a corner, and they are now defending themselves because this person allegedly has done some crazy stuff behind the scenes. And somehow, they are the victim. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got for today. Exhausting. That's all I can say. Exhausting. This whole situation is exhausting. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.